G'day everybody, and welcome back. We're going to do a range day with the ZASTAVA M-85 chambered in 22 Hornet. We had to do a range day with it the other day. Its first run, and let's see how we went. So let's head straight to the range. G'day everybody, and welcome back to the channel. In front of us today we have the ZASTAVA M-85 chambered in 22 Hornet. Now, I did a little video on this the other night, and it's a really nice rifle. I'm actually quite looking forward to shooting it. And I was lucky enough today to be granted a leave pass to go for a little range day and have a bit of a shoot. And they're on a private property at the moment, and it's dry. Had a bit of rain up here the other. It's dry. The grass is long, as it is everywhere. And the wind's not that bad, and the flies are a bit forgiving today, so that's good. The big thing is it's quite overcast, and I don't mind that. I've never minded overcast shooting in overcast conditions. The light is consistent. You don't get moving shadows and all that. You get this one level of light all the time, and that goes all day. And I don't mind that at all. I never have. So what we've got here, I've never fired this rifle, so I'm going to. It's load testing and sight-in day, if you like. I've got some cellular and bellet factory ammunition. That is. It's a 45 grain soft point, and I've also got some 22 Hornet PPU in what's this one? Oops, 45 grain soft point. So similar thing. That's the S&Bs, and the PPUs are quite the same, quite similar. Very round nosed bullet on these things, which tends to knock their accuracy around a little bit, but we'll come back to that down the track. So we've got our magazine out. Now, load that in there like that. That's pretty easy. And you pull that put it down on the table and just pull the little button down. I'll do it over this side so you can hopefully see it. Pull a little button down and just slide them in like that. And that makes life so easy, particularly when you get down to number 5. Number 5 is in all these things always a bit hard, but no, that's easy peasy. And give them a little tap just to seat them in there. And Robert is your father's brother, so let's have a bit of a shoot out of this piece. Put some cans on. Now we've got a 3 to 9 by 40 Nico Sterling scope on this one. We've got a target set up at 100 yards. We'll take him up to 9 power. Focus him a bit. Oh, come out. There he is. That's really nice, that focus on that. It's really nice. So, all right. Oop, one did go. Right, first shot out of the ZASTAVA M-85 22 Hornet. Now, a bore side of this could go absolutely anywhere. Not bad, gee, nice and tame to shoot, I'll give it that. I'll lose that brass, we'll load that. Alright, I'm going to sight this in. I'm not going to bore you to tears with the sighting process, because that's just not fun at all. So we'll see you in a bit when she's done. Rightio, we've got the ZASTAVA 22 Hornet sighted in, finally. We've had some couple of little rain squalls come past, and I've got some rain starting to head bear down on me now, so I better really get on with this. Was a bit of a punish sighting it in. Actually, it really didn't care for either of those two factory ammunition things that much, and plus the fact that it was new rifle, just had to scratch up the barrel a bit. But anyway, firstly we're going to do the we've got some home loads that I've put together. The first lot's out of the it's all loaded up with ADI 2207 powder, and the first lot of projectiles I'm going to do is the Hornet 40 grain VMAX, so we'll see how they go. So I'll load some of them up. Gee, this little magazine with this little button down the side to pull the spring down, gee, that makes life easier. You just basically drop them in, and they sit there, and just give them a little bit of a belt on the table. That'll sort of seat them all down and everything. And right, 40 grain Hornet VMAX. Let's see how we go. And there we go. Righto, the next lot of home loads we're going to do is we've loaded up with some 45 grain spear soft points. So they're just a flat base soft point Spitzer type projectile, nothing flashed there. Usual spear fare. Spear make a good projectile. They're often overlooked, and I can't really see why, but they do what they're supposed to do. They really behave themselves, and they're priced a hell of a lot better than a lot of these projectiles on the market now. So we'll see how we go with these. Again, 2207 powder. Away we go. Rightio, lucky last, and I can see some rain coming, so we best be getting on with this. I've loaded up this time with some 50 grain spear hollow point TNT, so it's a flat base hollow point spear projectile, and I've got the magazine loaded, ready to go. I've got the targets out of the 100 yards. Let's get this done because I can see this rain coming over the hill. And there she be. So we'll finish this up, and I'll see you in the shed later on. Righto, we're back from the range, and before we get in and have a look at the results and see how the load testing panned out, we'll have a look at what we loaded up with, etc, and what we used. Okay, new rifle. So we've purchased some factory ammunition, and some of this on the market is actually prohibitively expensive. It's quite ridiculous actually for what it is, but it's the way it goes, I suppose. We'll start with PPU, the trusty old PPU. People shit can this, yeah, I don't mind it. It goes bang, it sort of goes bang, and it sort of goes where you point it, so that'll do me. And it's sort of sighting in a rifle and breaking in the barrel, so that's fine. Now that's 45 grain soft point, and we've also bought some 45 grain soft point cellular and bellet. Now, if you have a look, made in the Czech Republic. I'll try and find this warning. This got pointed out to me the other day. I think it's quite funny. There it is. It says, keep out of reach of children and incompetent people. That's pretty good. It's pretty self-explanatory, straight to the point. And if you can't work that out, well, more fool you. Okay, we're going to make it all go bang, put it all together. PPU brass, just bought some of that in bags from the shop. That's fine, no issues there. And sometimes brass for this stuff is also silly expensive for what it is. So, you know, get what you get. It's only brass. These are some of those European primers. I don't even know what you call Ruargs or whatever they are. I think putting when you sort of seat them, I think they're a tiny whisker fatter. They just seem to go in a lot tighter, which I don't think is an overly bad thing myself. And we've all made it all, sent it all on its way with ADI 2207 powder. Now, when you load these 22 Hornets, you go to your load data and it talks about these mystical substances like ADI 2205, Lil Gun. I mean, these things are absolute unicorn tiers, and you can't get it. 2207 is a reasonable substitute. It's the best we're going to do. So as I always say, play the cards you're dealt. And the three projectiles we used the HORNET 45 grain VMAX. Oh no, these are so small, it's so hard to hold on my big old hands. Little flat, little red-nosed beast, slight little boat tail on him. He loads up really nicely actually. And that's one thing with loading these 22 Hornets, you've got to be really careful. They've got that long skinny neck on them, and if you haven't got the projectile straight in, you bend the neck out of them. They're horrid things sometimes. But just take your time. We've got 45 grain spear varmint Spitzers. They're just basically a flat base, soft nose projectile, standard spear fare really. That's fine. And we've used also, just for the hell of it, some 50 grain spear TNTs. They're a hollow point. Now, I didn't hold a hell of a lot of hope for these, simply because and that's him there. He's got a flat base and a really thin little hollow point, but you can't have a big hollow point on a 50 grain projectile. But I didn't hold out a whole heap of hope because these rifles come in a 1 in 16 twist, and 50 grain projectile might be a little bit much for him, but we've shot him, and I'll let you decide. I'll let you decide, because I've got some other ideas about that myself. So I'll just do a quick reloading disclaimer. If you are going to reload rifle ammunition or any sort of ammunition, you're dealing with explosives. So make sure you know exactly what you're doing. Learn, read books, ask people, etc. Get all the advice you can get before you head down this road. It is a dangerous road that, if done incorrectly, can have incredibly fatal consequences. I highly recommend that you load within suggested loading guidelines from powder manufacturers, bullet manufacturers, etc., etc. Going outside these parameters, the risk is on you. It is not on me. If you want to fill these things up with powder and turn them into rocket ships, that's on you and not me. What I load works for me and my rifles and my firearms, and it may or may not work for you and yours. So in closing, stay safe. Rightio. Results from range day with the new 22 Hornet ZASTAVA M-85. Range days are always good. Always learn something on range days, and always good to take a new rifle, that particular caliber you've never had anything to do with. Always going to be a lot of fun. So before we go any further, let's have a look at a 22 Hornet round. Now that's a PPU, that's your standard 45 grain soft point, just a flat rimmed cartridge. Nice, long skinny neck. Now that brass does keep creeping forward, so you've got to keep trimming these things, and that's one of the downsides of these things, but that's life. The good thing about them is, because of their small powder charge, you very rarely get any pressure issues with these things. So there we go. But unfortunately, with the long skinny neck, they tend to split necks. But there are trade-offs all the time. And your standard factory loads are like a round, real little chubby, podgy, flat base, soft point projectile, and those that sort of projectile really doesn't give the caliber. Well, it doesn't do it any justice. It doesn't give it any great accuracy, not super accuracy, and so it was sort of put by the wayside. Your granddad always had one of these in the cupboard. Your granddad or your uncle or somebody, some old bloke on a farm always had a 22 Hornet somewhere, and they were just one of those rifles. And but it's these Hornet calibers are enjoying something of a resurgence of late. And you start to load some premium projectiles into them, with the modern powders, etc., etc. You're getting quite good accuracy out of them, and they've got plenty of knockdown power, and they're a good thing. We'll get something out of this. So we've all loaded. Well, everything we've loaded up here today is with ADI 2207 powder. We've got our 3-inch targets at 100 yards. We'll start off with the 40 grain Hornety VMAX projectiles, 10.9 grains. First cab off the rank. He's gone to 1.13. Yeah, so ho hum. Yeah, not all over the shop, so we'll work with that. Now we're going up in only 0.2 of a grain increments, simply because your maximum's not that high, but your minimum's not really that low. So you don't really have a lot of parameter in which to work. So you just go up small jumps, and that's fine. That's fine. We'll get there. 11.1, we've gone down to 0.64 of an inch. And that's all but a straight vertical string there, and those two are on top of each other there. This bloke sort of, yeah. But if that's the worst fly you're going to get, that's not too bad. So 0.64 of an inch, so that's a winner. We'll go up a bit more. We've gone to 11.3 grains, 1.32 inches. Yeah, he's a bit ho-hum. And 11.5, again, we've gone to 1.27. Yeah, so. Look, not foul. You could tune that. You could tune that up a little bit. I mean, as I say, I was trying to dodge between range calls and all that, and I can't remember even what was going on. So there we go. So we'll get rid of that. We'll put up the Hornety the Spear 45 grain Spitzer soft point projectiles. Okay, same powder charges, and with all these different size projectiles, the powder charges are the same. In the ADI books and the Nick Harvey books, etc., where I get all my information from. So, yeah, work with that. 10.9 grains of 2207 behind the 45 grain Spears. 1.43 inches. Yeah, so. There we go. 0.83 of an inch with that for a little bit of a flyer. Those two are right next to each other. So that could be me, and with a 9-pound Nico Sterling scope, you're not going to see a great deal of detail on on the centre of the target. You don't, you obliterate that, if you like, with the crosshair. You don't see much of the target at all. So that I'm quite happy with that, and that's the same charge of powder as with the 40 grain VMAX. So there we go. Okay, now we go up to 11.3, as I said, going in 2.2 of a grain increments, 1.14 inches, yeah, so, but there or thereabouts. I mean, it's all in that big ring. You know, you're going to hit anything you're going to aim at with that. You know, nothing I'm going to shoot at has got a head smaller than that ring there. That's fine. Now, here we go, 11.5 grains, the maximum load. Now, it's got 1.02 inches because of that little flyer there. These two are in the same hole. So to me, anything that puts two in the same hole, that's likely me or whatever, who cares. Put two in the same hole out of three, that's a winner. That's a winner. We'll make something with that. And if you're shooting, hunting, whatever, and you've got confidence in your rifle and your ammunition with that sort of accuracy, that's half the battle. The battle's in your mind. So there we go. Right, now we'll have a look at the 50 grain hollow points. I didn't hold out much hope for these, as I said, and because I always thought the 1 in 16 twist rate, 1 in 16 barrel twist of this thing might be a little bit funny with them, and I was absolutely correct. 10.9, all over the place like a mad woman shit. What do we got? 4.2 inches, yeah, hooroo. 2.2 inches for 11.1. Okay, go up a bit further. 11.3, she's 2.94. And 11.5, she's 1.34, but you notice these things are just sort of starting to come tighter together. So I'm not going to discard these totally, not for this rifle, but I've got another 22 Hornet, which is actually at the gunsmiths at the moment, getting reamed out to be a 22K Hornet. They will apparently throw a bigger projectile, so it looks, we might get away with one of these ones where the harder you chuck them, the better they go, because this K Hornet rifle's the old ugly ducking. It's an Anschutz, but they got the same barrel twist, so in theory should be a bit similar. We'll see how they go. I mean, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. So let's wrap this one up and do some final thoughts. Rightio, let's put this one to bed. The ZASTAVA M-85 chambered in 22 Hornet, done and dusted. In short, like it a lot. There is a lot to like about this rifle. No question, it is a lovely looking rifle. It feels really nice in the hand. It's quite a bulky rifle actually for what it is, because A, it's in a timber stock, but B, this is all steel. I could not find any plastic in this thing whatsoever. It is all steel, so it's gonna outlast me, which is really good. As you saw, it shot quite okay, and it's a lovely rifle to shoot. Minimal recoil, as you'd expect with a 22 Hornet, and the report of the rifle is at a level such that it would be quite appropriate, shall we say, if you're shooting on a smaller property, or maybe a property where there's houses and neighbours a little bit closer than you like them. So there's definitely a niche for a rifle like this, and I like it, and I could see myself having a lot of fun with it in years to come. Range day went really well. As you see, it shot quite okay, and it'll get better as it goes along. We do a little bit more fine tuning. It'll get better, I have no doubt about that. But as it stands now, I'm happy with where it is. Experienced no mechanical issues, no failures whatsoever with the rifle, with the ammunition, no issues. That little magazine with that little button at the side there made that so easy to load. It's not funny. That which seems not such a big deal, it really, it's worth its weight. It really is. It's a really good innovation, you know. So I'm going to put this one to bed. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, give it a like. That'd be really good. Subscribe to my channel. That'd be really good. Keeps things going along, and that's all kicking along nicely. And for notifications, hit that bell icon. As I always say, bang that bell like it owes you money. So, going to sign off now. As I always say, you can tell your wife, you can tell your girlfriend, you can tell them both. It don't matter to me. Just go 2 clicks up. Ta-da!